What up, 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 what up? What's good, people? What is up? What is that? They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these pants on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on his first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay?
Well, you gonna run me?
Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Ooh, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to start. I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Bird was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Girl. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had it on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Iyanla Vanzant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Get me up in my DMs because I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy. Well, hello. How is everyone? Let me put this in the members only chat. Let me post this to the socials. Ciao. Yeah. Hold just a second, y'all. All right. That's Instagram. Done. And now let's do the tube of you. Get that out the way. And then we ready to get this party started up in here, y'all. Today is Thursday. It is the day after Christmas. And yeah, we here. Hold on. All right. All of the things are done. We have posted to all of the things. All right. How's y'all doing today? How is everyone today? I'm so happy to see you all, even though I just saw y'all yesterday. But we got some things to talk about and some things to be about and some things to break down like only we can here, okay? So we're going to make it do what it do, and we're going to talk about some things and be about some things and then get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Then get up out of here. So let me say hey to y'all as we come in the chat. I know some people are still over there down to the really beam, but nevertheless, we here now. Um, hey, Universal Goddess, I like that dress. Do you like change your avatar every 2 days, Universal Goddess? I love it though. Hey, girl. Hey, hey, L love, my love. How are you today? It's good to see you, Janae. I'm glad you are here, and they not working you to death like they always do. Oh, you on your way to a party? Okay. Hey, Opal, what's going on, Opal? Good to see you. Nessa! Hey, Nessa, what's going on, Nessa? Good to see you. I saw you in that black dress on your social media, Nessa. I said, where Nessa going? Child, I saw you wearing that black dress. You wore that, honey. I saw that. Anyway, hey, Symmetry, what's going on, my love? Hey, Montrez, what's good, bruh? What is up? What is up, everybody? We are here. We are here. So listen, y'all. Hey, crazy homebody girl, Angela, what is going on? Miss Bay thing out in the Bay Area. You just started lunch, okay, honey? Um, Listen, the pupils are all filing in. They are all filing in, and I'm glad to see y'all. Um, y'all saw Harold put in the members only chat. He don't want to hear no Beyonce slander today. Listen, and gonna try to use that as his excuse for being late to class. I don't have time for Harold. I don't have time for whatever Harold got going on. If Harold try to come in here with his nonsense, it's gonna be on. You had to pop out one time for the people. I said, look at Nessa over there in the dress, giving the people something they can feel. I was here for it. Hey, Brown Mama. Ciao. Hey, Therese, what's going on? So, you about to start your lunch too, crazy homebody girl? Okay. Well, listen, y'all. So about last night, I had somebody come over and spoon with. I'm not gonna tell you who was Big Spoon and who was Little Spoon, but we did. The one who said it like this. Oh, okay. So here's your update. Here's your update. Okay, real quick update before we get into everything. Okay, so last night, dude who said he liked all my grades and shit, he came over and we were spooning. While we were so when you're spooning with somebody, right? You can't help but have somebody see what's in your phone. If you check your phone, they gonna see what you got going on, whether or not you're the big spoon or the little spoon. Okay. So I get a text. Hey, Cymera. Hey, China White. So I get a text, right? Instead of my stupid ass ignoring the text, not paying attention to the text, I opened the text, right? And guess who it is? It's Wendy's 4 for 4. Okay. The bank executive. Girl. So 4 for 4 text me. You coming through? Anytime soon. I know you get ready to go out of the country. You gonna come through here? So while I'm spooning, I gotta give a name for the dude that likes my beard and stuff. So he was like, well, who was that? I was like, that's just some dude, he liked me or whatever. And so, hey, Florida T-Bird. Well, I'm glad really we did direct you over here to us. Florida T-Bird, just sit down. We telling a real quick story before we get to today's topics, okay? Girl, sit down. Let me catch those people up who don't know who don't know some of these characters. Okay, we talk about 2 people. 4 for 4. Wendy's 4 for 4 is a bank executive. He's the vice president of a bank. Really well, great personality. We mesh well. Everything is he's attractive, got a lot of money, and everything. And everything is good, copacetic with him, except for the fact that his penis is less than 4 inches. I'm talking about fully erect. it's less than 4 inches, which is a deal breaker. Now I done went over there a few times and tried to do some Kegels on it to try to feel something, but you can't feel nothing if it's like 2.3 inches. Hey, Uncle Jay. So that's 4 for 4. I wasn't with 4 for 4 last night. Last night, I gotta come up with a name for this dude. Okay. I gotta come up with a name for him. Anyway, um, I gotta come up with a name for him. Anyway, so the dude that came over last night, we'll call him Reggie for now. That ain't his name. I'm telling you, that ain't his name. His name don't even start with an R. But we'll call him Reggie for now. So Reggie is here last night. We spooning. I was the little spoon last night. Sometimes I'm big spoon, but last night I wanted to be little spoon, right? I get the text instead of my stupid ass ignoring the text. I picked up the phone. It's 4 for 4. 4 for 4 says, "Is you coming over and before you go out of town?" I, of course, Reggie looks at it and says, "Well, who is that?" And I was like, "Oh, nobody. You ain't got to worry about that. That's just somebody who liked me." And you know what he says after that? He says, "Oh, well, he must not have everything in place and in order. Otherwise, you would have already been over there and he wouldn't have to beg like that." And then he was like, "Cause I don't have to beg." And then he gonna scoot his little, hips up into me, make sure I feel what he got going on down there. And I was like, "Boy, stop." And he was like, "Mm-hmm." And then the next thing out his mouth was, "His shit ain't better than mine, is it?" I was like, "First of all, that ain't none of your business." And then I started laughing, and he was like, "Oh, so that mean it's not?" I was like, "You know what? Men ain't shit." And so he was like, "You can play around with him now, but when I lock you down, I dare that nigga to text you. I dare him to text you once I lock you down." Who says you gonna lock me down? That's what I said. And then he gonna push his little, meat up against me again. I- we were just playing. That's the story from last night. And I say that because don't do me like that, Cindy. Don't do me like that. I say that because the other day I was talking about Reggie and somebody was asking me about, somebody mentioned 4 for 4. And that's why I call him 4 for 4, because whoever it was called him the Wendy's 4 for 4. And so that's why I call him 4 for 4. And it was so funny because last night, 4 for 4 surely did without fail. He showed texted me and asked me, a mess, just a damn mess. Child, confidence does go a long way, bitch. It does. Mm, it goes a long way, honey. Yeah. Mm. So y'all, child, hey Miss Shorty B, what's going on? We all just over there chatting under a whole different live, waiting for you to come on. Oh, I didn't even know. I don't know what that was about. Um, that will turn you all the way on Universal. You like a man with confidence, right? She sent you to the wrong link, child. But you ain't mad about that. Like you be mad when I see you over the HUD chat. You ain't right, Ravine. I see you though, Ravine. I see you. Anyway, I didn't make a really be live. This is the only live I made. Oh boy, I don't know what that's about. This the only live I made. Child. Anyway, so that's the story from last night, y'all. Girl. Child, confidence is attractive. Really be, I think they said went to the, I don't know, YouTube be tripping. So I don't know. I don't know, really be. I don't know what I can, I can't call it, really be not really be YouTube be tripping. But it's okay. Hey TJ, what's good, girl? What is good? What is good? So y'all, right, there should have only been one. YouTube might have been tripping. It might have been YouTube. I don't know how I had two lives. Anyway, so y'all ready to get down to the nitty gritty, get this party started? Cause I'm ready. I'm really ready to get this party started, y'all. I really am. Um, so I want to start off. I want to start off by saying, hey Demetria, hey Quake, happy Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa to everybody. Don't ask me what day it is. Do not come over here asking me which day of Kwanzaa it is. I don't know. Umoja, Ujama, Kicking Kingdom. There's one on the second day. I don't know. I know it's Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa. Well, hello to you too, Ocean Dreaming. Hey, Marla Morris. I know you was on time. They told me some kind of way YouTube got all messed up, but whatever. So happy Kwanzaa. Also, Hanukkah. You got to add all of those extra consonants in the beginning. Hanukkah started, I believe, last night or night before last. And yeah, with those people who celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah to you as well. Hey Jay Wash, what's going on, sir? What's going on? All right, y'all. Umoja, okay, Umoja, okay. So thank you, and Angela, because child, I can't keep up. Listen, it's no tomorrow, Marla is the day with the long name that start with a K. I think I know that one is on the 27th. It start with a K. I can never pronounce it because it's like 20 letters long. This your first live? Well, welcome, Sagittarius. We'll try to be gentle. We'll try our very best to be gentle. But you know, like Tina and Ike said, but we never do anything nice and easy. We like to do it rough. That's how we like to do run your mouth. Hey, Sweet Pea, what's good, my love? So, all right, the gang's all here. We ready. Larry, you ready over there? Larry's ready. We ready. So let's go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. Larry say he ready. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary gender conforming members of our audience, I bring to you the great Larry Myers to help you usher in your sugar spike segment.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So long, well, I want to fight. Daddy gave his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
Jesus. Thank you, Larry. So, let me say hi to y'all. I see some of y'all just came in, and I should probably be nice and say hi to y'all. Hey, Paul. Paul just got from under trade. Paul, you missed my whole story that I just did a whole story about being laid up under somebody. You're gonna have to red ball back. It was a good story too. Paul, real good. Hey, Jay is a Jim. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, Green Girl. I'm sorry some of y'all got sent to the wrong live. I don't know what that's about. I only have one live set up. YouTube be tripping sometimes. So anyway, for those, because somebody gonna ask me in the DMs. I know somebody always asks me about something. These are new frames. I just picked these up today. I ordered these frames. They are actually the frames that are Bluetooth. so I can I can answer my phone with my glasses or listen to music through my glasses. And I took it to my optometrist so that he could put my lenses in there. So I had my prescription lenses put in here so that now I can sit at meetings and act like I'm really paying attention all the while I'm just listening to music. So if you want to see, they have little things at the bottom where you charge them and stuff, like to put on the charger and stuff like that. The things at the bottom and little things on the side for you to put your fingers, and that's how you answer the phone, turn off the phone, all of that good stuff. So yeah. Hey, lovely 31 blueprint. So I just picked these up today. I got two pairs of them too. I got this pair, I got another pair over there. And both of them are Bluetooth. They different types of frames, so I have variety. You always got to have variety. So yes, if you have to sit in a lot of meetings like me, you deserve to get some of these. Okay. Yeah, I am high tech. Anyway, y'all, let's get into today's politics, okay? And let's break some shit down like only we can over here, okay? So listen, thank you, Jay is the gem. I'm glad y'all like them. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. I don't know about fancy, but you know how when you get to the end of the year, and if you have a flex account with your job, like a flex account for like your health insurance, and you don't spend it all, at the end of the year, they be like, listen, you can only carry over X amount. And I had like $800 or something. And I know my lenses cost like $400 a piece. So I just bought two frames and then just went to the optometrist and used like $800 to get the lenses put into both of them. And there you go. So I could use up that flex money off that flex spending account. Anyway, so y'all's y'all's former president Donald John, um ch- don't you be hating this symmetry? You get to the end of the year and HR be like, hey boo, you need to do something with this money, you need to spend it. You be out there buying band-aids and gauzes and heating pads and all kinds of dumb stuff that you ain't got no business buying. So I usually save mine up and I buy it like new glasses or something so I can spend it all, because I know my lenses are real expensive. Um, and like going back, I hope everybody had a great Christmas yesterday. I hope you really enjoyed your gifts, your family, and all of that stuff. Hey, J12, aka, I hope you enjoyed your family yesterday. I hope they didn't get on your nerves. I hope you got good gifts or you got some good, cooch or some good meat or good whatever it is that you like. Um, I have to call him back. It said in my ear, it said incoming voice call from blah 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 blah. Cha. Anyway, y'all's former president was losing his goddamn mind. I don't know, something happened, J12, and YouTube kind of had a situation. I don't know. Um I'm so blessed that I got a boyfriend and a girlfriend. They both got me stuff. You know what? Lucky you, TJ. Anyway, so yesterday, while we're over there over at our respective homes, hanging out with family, watching football, making fun of Beyonce skank, doing all of the thing, eating good food. Uh Not BBD, Bad Body Don, child. Bad Body Don, BBD, Donald John. He, I guess, took the wrong meds, had the wrong shot, woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and decided he was going to lose his goddamn mind yesterday. And he went on a whole Twitter rant. I have the posts. Let me put up the posts for you. Wait a minute. I thought I did. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. So this was the first one. Well, I don't know which one. It's only two of them. I know the order. I can't remember which one came first and second. So I'm gonna put this one up first. Here's the first one. Okay. Here's the first one. Merry Christmas to everyone, including the radical left Marxists that are trying to destroy our country. The Federal Bureau of Investigation that is illegally coercing and paying social and lamestream media to push for a mentally disabled Democrat over the brilliant, clairvoyant, and USA loving Donald J. Trump. And of course, the Department of Injustice, which appointed a special prosecutor who, together with his wife and family, hates Trump more than any other person on earth. Love to all. This is what y'all's um soon to be president is posting as his Christmas message on his social media. Oh, but it did not end there. He then said, Merry Christmas to all, including crooked Joe Biden's only hope, deranged Jack Smith, the out of control lunatic who just hired outside attorneys fresh from the swamp, unprecedented, to help him with his poorly executed witch hunt against Trump, and MAGA, included also our world leaders, both good and bad, but none of which are as evil and sick as the thugs we have inside our country who, with their open borders, inflation, Afghanistan surrender, Green New Scam, high taxes, no energy independence, woke military, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Iran, all electric car lunacy, and so much more, are looking to destroy our once great USA. May they rot in hell. Again, Merry Christmas. This is what y'all's soon to be president is posting on Christmas. Oh, but it did not stop there because he could not be stopped. In the immortal words of one Sean Diddy Combs, can't stop, won't stop. Okay. So then he had a two-part rant. The first part starting like this. Merry Christmas to all, including to the wonderful soldiers of China who are lovingly but illegally operating the Panama Canal, where we lost 38,000 people in its building 110 years ago. Always making certain that the United States puts in billions of dollars in repair money, but will have absolutely nothing to say about anything. Also, to Governor Justin Trudeau of Canada, whose citizens' taxes are far too high. But if Canada was to become our 51st state, their taxes would be cut by more than 60%. Their businesses would immediately double in size, and they would be military protected like no other country anywhere in the world. Likewise, to the people of Greenland, which is needed by the United States for national security purposes, and who want the US to be there, and we will. Oh, there's a second part. Don't hold on. He's not done. Merry Christmas to the radical left lunatics who are constantly trying to obstruct our court system and our elections and are always going after the great citizens and patriots of the United States, but in particular their political opponent, me. They know that their only chance of survival is getting pardons from a man who has absolutely no idea what he is doing. Also, to the 37 most violent criminals who killed, raped, and plundered like virtually no one before them, but were just given incredibly a pardon by sleepy Joe Biden. I refuse to wish a Merry Christmas to those lucky souls, but instead will say, go to hell. We had the greatest election in the history of our country. A bright light is now shining over the USA. And in 26 days, we will make America great again. Merry Christmas. I just want to remind some people that brain cells are one of the only cells in the body that do not replenish themselves. So when they die, that's it. You can't replenish whatever brain cells have been lost. And I am fearful of the amount of brain cells that I just ruined or that, are forever lost, irrevocably lost, because I had to read those 4 posts. Like, there's nothing I can do about the brain capacity that I just lost reading that. The man wants a whole segment of the electorate to rot in hell. This is the man who y'all wanted in the White House. And on Christmas Day, he said, rot in hell. I'm not making this up. Those are his words and not mine. I don't know what they got going. I don't know what Jason, you don't have to negotiate with terrorists, Jason. Jason, you have a wrench. You're a hall monitor. You know what to do. I know you have your sniper rifles. No, Jason, you don't have to negotiate with terrorists. You have your sniper rifle in your hand. Take him out of his misery, his or her misery. I'm just saying. You don't even have to negotiate with them. Take them out of their misery. Anyway, but that's what he had to say. So he called all. Thank you, Janae. Janae is our medical expert. She confirms that brain cells are one of the only cells that do not regenerate. They don't replenish. When they gone, baby. That's it. That's all. And so I just lost probably thousands of brain cells reading that I can never get back. That I can never get back. Can one Harold or Jason, can one of y'all take care of the trash that's in the chat? Just we're not negotiating with these people. I told you we don't negotiate with these people. Just take them out. Take out the trash. Anyway, as I was saying, don't even time them out, just block them. The man said y'all need to rot in hell. The man equated the 37 people, many of whom were in jail on life sentences for things that was nonviolent drug possession and things like that. Many of them were in there for things like that, had their sentences commuted. He called them, all of them, rape. What did it hold? Let me not mix the man's words. He said all of these people were, quote, the most violent criminals who killed, raped, and plundered like virtually no one before them. But, sir, you're getting ready to give pardons to insurrectionists that murdered and maimed police officers, that tried to murder members of Congress and the sitting vice president. Those are the people who also wiped their fecal matter all over the walls of the Capitol building. I'm not even being hyperbolic. Actually wiped their fecal matter on the walls of the Capitol building. And these are the people who you want to give pardons to. They don't need to rot in hell. They don't need to go to hell, right? I'm just making sure I understand. But the man is unhinged. The man is unhinged. Okay. At this point, here's why so many people, even on the right, are calling Elon Musk the president and him the vice president because he's unhinged. Like mentally, the man is unhinged. He's all over the place. And the scary part is an unhinged bastard like this is going to have the codes to the nuclear going to have the nuclear codes, the codes to nuclear weapons. An unhinged bastard like that. Like this is the type of man that will wake up someday on a freaking holiday and say, "Up, everybody rot in hell." I I just wanted to bring y'all Christmas tidings and greetings from your next presidents. Those are your Christmas tidings and greetings from your next president, Donald John. He wore girdles, child. He probably wore more than that, child. Girdles and corsets. Um, you want us to go to hell, Don? Go to hell. You go to hell. Go to hell. In more news involving your next president, let me break this down. Really, be talked about this briefly on her live, and I wanted to give a little more context to this. So there was an op-ed in the Guardian, I believe it was. There was an op-ed that was released to the Guardian and the Associated Press that talked about what happened last week. Now, we reported on this last week when colleges and universities, no, it was about a week and a half ago, maybe. I think it was either last week or a week and a half ago. We reported on how colleges and universities were advising students on visas and students that are international students to come back early for classes and not wait until after the inauguration. So it was an op-ed released to um, the Associated Press and the Guardian that spoke to the fact that there are many universities asking this to happen. Now, when Really B was talking, and I love my sis Really B, I really love her, but I can't agree necessarily with some of her sentiments because um, eh, on social media, and I see this even from people who commonly do politics, there's this whole fuck around and find out hashtag, and everybody's on the oh well fuck around and find out, and sometimes that gets attributed to people who weren't on the wrong side of this. That gets pushed on people who are really victims and were not on the wrong side of um the presidential election, or weren't the people pushing Donald John and things like that. These were actual literal people who were on the right side of things and may not need to be the ones that bear the brunt of the fuck around and find out movement, because guess what, something's going to happen to us in our community, and if somebody diminishes what we're going through at the hands of or at the behest of the Republicans or Donald John's administration, and just diminishes that and reduces it to well, fuck around and find out, this is what y'all wanted. No, this is not what we wanted. We didn't vote for that mess, but we have to endure it. And there are segments of the population that did not vote for that, but unfortunately they have to deal with it. So I do. There are some cases where it is truly a fuck around and find out situation, but there are situations where it's not a fuck around and find out. It's a damn. These are people who are victims of the fuck shit that other people voted for, and now they have to unfortunately reap the repercussions because other people are too stupid. And I say that to give you context going back to uh, uh, um, early spring and the summer. If you recall, um, early spring and going through the spring and all the way through the summer, you saw unrest all over. And this is even going back before Kamala was in the race. This is going back to when Joseph Robinette was still running. You saw unrest on campuses all over the country. There was protests and unrests involving Gaza and Israel and Gaza. And these students were um, being targeted because they chose to protest. There were some universities that chose to arrest them. I was on this platform, and many of you all were here. I was on this platform losing my mind, going off on the Biden administration, on Kamala, and all of that because I said this was undue arrest. They have the right to protest, and they were being targeted because they were protesting what Israel was doing. So then, fast forward, we had those 4 university presidents. All of them were women. They were asked, and they were all presidents of Ivy League schools. Remember, you had Dr. Gay. She was the Black Haitian American woman who also testified in front of Congress as a part of those 4 Ivy League presidents that sat before Congress and told Congress, I cannot tell somebody, a student, that they're not allowed to protest or they're not allowed to have an organization that speaks differently from my viewpoints. I can only stop them from doing something that causes harm to someone else. If they're protesting what's going over there, and because they wouldn't willfully say that they would force those students to stop protesting, they went and it was all over social media, all over mainstream media, legacy media, and they lambasted those presidents. And one by one, they all started to get picked off. They and quietly and secretly. Now, what did not make headlines is there were a lot of universities around the country. It it conveniently happened around the summertime. If you know anything about education, summertime, the between June and July is when a lot of turnover happens for colleges, universities, and even K through 12, where you can have new regimes and new administrations. And people in positions of power, APAC that was funding a lot of stuff through both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, put pressure on board of trustees, board of regents, state board of educations, and so forth, to oust and get rid of many university presidents that wouldn't acquiesce to the demands of a pro-Israel agenda. So you started to see around the country many university presidents were removed, ceremoniously ousted. So you had the students that were not allowed to protest and have their voices heard and arrested and thrown out of school. You then had the university leadership that was doing the right thing, but told no, if you're not going to have a hard stance and force everybody to be pro-Israel, then you need to go too. So they were all gotten rid of. And then you're left with there was a president that missed the first meeting and tried to clean up the verbiage. Which one was that? That was you're talking about when they met before Congress? Because I remember they Elise Stefanik, who I can't stand, she went back and forth with Dr. Gay, and then she went back and forth with the president, I think of UPenn. I see her face. She had the blonde hair. I believe it was the president of UPenn. And she started, there was a back and forth she had with her about the language and the nomenclature about the university policy and rules. So, and eventually all of them ended up getting fired. All of them ended up getting ousted. So you're talking about whole system administration got fired. You have students that are being jailed, thrown out of school, and so forth. And now you have a president who's coming in who did the same thing back in 2017 when he first got into office. When he put the travel ban on in 2017, early in his administration, many university students could not come back and finish school because of the travel bans. And so that's happening again now, even more so because he has less people trying to stop him from doing his fuck shit. So the point that I'm making is we have a whole segment of the population, much of whom did not vote for him, are not a part of the people that should be lumped into with the fuck around and find out segment of the population, but now fall victim to what's going on. Hell, if you're a student from another country, you can't even vote. This is not a fuck around and find out to students that are overseas. They don't even have the means, or they can't even vote here. They're not legal citizens. They're not, citizens of this country. So to say, oh, well, fuck around and find out, that ain't my problem. I'm not saying that we have to care about everything, but what I'm saying is when you lump everybody into that, there's going to come a situation down the line, or who knows when, where we're going to find ourselves in the crosshairs of what the fuck the next administration has going on. And we're going to feel some kind of way if somebody reduces our plight, or somebody reduces what we're having to endure to a, oh, well, fuck around and find out, this is what y'all voted for. No, we didn't vote for this. And many of the people involved in this situation did not vote for this. What you're talking about at a lot of these universities is a small, minute segment of that university. It's usually just a board of trustees. It's usually the governing board, the board of regents, the State Department of Education, and so forth, that control everything. And unfortunately, we're lumping 99% of the system in with just the 1% that may have went over there and voted for him. And I don't think that's fair. Hey, Monk Chip Boo, I ain't seen you in a minute. They got you working over there hard. Girl, where you been hiding? I know they be having you over there working, Monk Chip. So, yeah, I'm glad to see you, Monk Chip, and Merry Christmas to you. Symmetry say we stay in the crosshairs and our plights are always diminished. And I agree. I agree. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that it does us any justice to reduce everyone or every situation to, oh, well, like we can't just with a broad stroke says any community that gets affected negatively by something the next administration does, they have to be lumped into the fuck around and find out category, because that's just not true. That's just not how this works. I gotta find. I'm familiar with the poem. Busy. I gotta go find it. I'd have to find it. But I just, I somebody who's into politics, who's passionate about it, who is in and around those circles. I'm at the point now. I understand people are some people are tired, some people are angry, some people are upset, but I think we inevitably this is happening. And we do have to get to the point where we can't just sit back and say, well, I'm gonna just sit back and see what happens. And if something happens and don't involve us, oh well, that's what y'all voted for. We don't know that. Um, we just don't know that. And like I said, to say students involved in this, it should be lumped into the fuck around and find out, would be like saying, oh, well, because the C suites of, I'm just using a company for example, Amazon. I'm just using them as an example because the C suites of Amazon voted for Trump. Then if something happens that affects the Amazon workers negatively, then all of those workers, oh well, fuck around and find out. Well, no, because the people who we want to have that uh, mentality for usually don't get affected. They come off unscathed. And while we're saying fuck around and find out, the people who actually reap the most work, the most horrible ramifications are people who did not vote the other side. They're victims. And it becomes a situation where it's okay to have that mentality until it knocks at your door. And I know we as black people say we always reaping the short end of the stick. That may be true, but there are certain liberties and there are certain amenities and there are certain things that we have gotten or we have grown accustomed to, you know, fights that we had decades ago and rights and laws that we've had afforded to us. And if they start stripping those away from us, then we're going to feel like, well, damn, you know? So I'm just saying, I never want people to say, as bad as it may be for us as black people, I never want people to say, well, we already got it bad. So, because to me, saying, well, we already got it bad is almost like saying, well, it can't get no worse because it can get worse, a lot worse. And rather than sit back and watch it get worse or allow it to get worse, I would rather be involved in the fight to say, at least let me try to keep a stranglehold on what little I may have, what little rights and benefits we may have. Let's try to put a stranglehold on them as much as we can. Because if we sit back with a laissez-faire attitude and oh well, they've been fucking us around this whole time, I don't give a damn, they're going to strip us of things that we can't afford to be stripped of. Like, I don't think any of us in this chat lived through uh uh um the post reconstruction era. Well, I know nobody in this chat lived through post reconstruction, lived through I don't think I and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think anybody in this chat had to live through an America during the 1940s or the 1930s where shit was way, way, way bad. I mean, and none of us have had to endure what some of our grandparents and great grandparents endured. And what's so interesting is those individuals that actually lived through that time. If you notice, they don't do a whole lot of complaining. They don't even talk a whole lot about what was going on back then. You know, it's so interesting to me to watch how our generation reacts to this time. Um, and I said this right after the election. This right now, this time period that we're in is going to be very telling for our generation. I talked about after the election how every generation has had to endure the ebbs and flows of justice. There's an ebb and a flow to justice. And it's not it's what happens when you're on that down spin and how you react and how you gird yourselves for that impact. That is the telling story. And what I'm seeing from so many of us is this, well, I'm just going to sit back and let it happen because that's what they wanted. If people had had that mentality back in the 30s and 40s, They tried. Let's please be clear. The civil rights eras of the late 50s and 60s was not the only time that there were attempts to garner rights for black people. Think about coming out of the Civil War when you have Reconstruction and the fact that black people really started doing really well. They started doing really well. You had the first black members of Congress, and you had black people that were thriving, building great cities and municipalities all over the country. The turn of the century happens and shit goes to hell in a handbasket. And now you go on this downward spiral of Jim Crow. You had the Plessy versus Ferguson, Jim Crow, all of that segregation, all of these things happen. And if those civil rights leaders, those people in positions of power, and not just them, even the regular, average, everyday black person, had they sat down and say, "Oh well, we tried, but they want it that way. Oh well, fuck it," we would not have anything that we have right now. And that's why I kind of get passionate about it sometimes, because we cannot afford to sit back and have a attitude of, well, I'm gonna see how it goes. Because when we sit back and say, I'm gonna see how it goes catastrophically for us. And for many of us, it ain't just about us. We have to think that we have children and grandchildren and all of that and all of that. We have family members, we have loved ones. We cannot afford to just say, well, we just gonna let it happen, because that's not in our blood. That's not our bloodline. Our black people, that's not how we're built when we came over here. Don't let them lie to you. They did not sit at the plantation and just let the people beat on them and didn't do anything. That's not how they're not going to give you all of the history of what really happened. But please be clear, there were uprisings all over the country happening all the time. We didn't just sit our asses sit there and say, well, I guess we just gonna have to deal with. No, 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 no. You either gonna be either a sailboat with a sail, or you gonna either be one of those boats with the goddamn engine on it. I'd rather be a boat with an engine instead of a boat with the sail, because with the sail, you got to depend on the wind, try to manage the way the wind blows. I'm not worried about the wind. I want to direct my own path. Damn the way the wind going. I want to direct my own path. So I just really feel like we owe it to ourselves, and even if not just for ourselves, for those coming after us, that we have to fight, because history is going to tell what we did during this time. And I heard someone say this one time on I forgot what I was watching, and it's so true. For all of the people that talk about what they would have and would not have done during the time of slavery, we could tell right now who is who. The ones that would have been about that life and said, no, we got to do something about this. Got to get out of here. They're doing that right now. The ones that would have sat their ass on the plantation and said, well, girl, I guess this is what we got to live through. They're doing that right now. You see it right now. You see it. Then you got the ones on the sidelines that try to that's commentating on all of it. They ain't going nowhere either, but they commentating on everything. That's bad what Massa doing over there to them. We could go and do something. Still there, still sitting right there though. They ain't went nowhere. They be like, well, I guess. Oh, you see how Massa beat him? Man, he sure shouldn't have tried to run away. He know how Massa is. He know the rules. He know they don't let us go. Girl. Exactly, Demetria. Thank God we always have a group of people that say, no, we about this life. Nah, we ain't. Mm-mm. That's why for me, I just don't involve myself in the fuck around and find out conversation, because it trickles down to people who really had nothing to do with a lot of what's going on. So I did want to break that down. I wanted to introduce to the conversation about what's going on with the universities, the fact that about the university presidents that began to be summarily fired, and those students that were arrested and told that they're not able to protest, even though their grandparents are revered as, you know, heroes for protesting Vietnam War. Think about that. These kids in college right now, their grandparents were students in the 60s and stuff like that, and were protesting the Civil War, not the Civil War, God, the Vietnam War and things like that. And were allowed to, and are revered to this day. You know, talked in heralding tales about how they were able to protest, but they decided to protest, and now you're arresting them and throwing them out of schools for peaceful protests, not violent protests, peaceful protests. The same people who protested when they were in school are now arresting children for protesting at schools. I'm trying to help the people understand. Anyway, that's my y'all know I went down a tangent. I apologize. Y'all know sometimes I get passionate about certain things. We got to move on though. Listen, where's my New York delegation? If you're from New York, put a 27 in the chat. Where's my New York delegation? Right, pulling that ladder right on up. Nah, you don't need this good ladder. We'll pull this on up. A mess. Okay, so my New York delegation, I know this has been all over y'all's news. Hi, Ty Millers. Thank you for coming in here. So this is not making the type of news that I think it should make. I see a lot of y'all New York people. What's going on? Is it no bias or no bias? I'm gonna say it's no bias. I know TJ up there. I'm grateful for my grandparents sharing their experiences of segregation and civil rights experience. Exactly, travel love. So, hey, CK Amelie. So, y'all got this situation going on up there in New York with this lady that was set on fire. Have y'all been paying attention to the lady that was on the subway and this man that you see in white set the lady on fire and then started fanning the flames? Well, they found him and he got arrested. Let me read this real fast. This coming from the AP News. The man accused of lighting a woman on fire on a New York City subway and fanning the flames as she burned to death made his first appearance in court this week. Excuse me, while authorities were yet to publicly identify the victim. Sebastian Zapata, 33, was arraigned on murder and arson charges on Tuesday afternoon in a Brooklyn court where he was remanded back to custody. He did not enter a plea, and his lawyer did not speak to reporters assembled inside the courthouse. His next court date is scheduled for Friday. Authorities allege that that Zapata, who federal immigration officials say is a Guatemalan citizen who entered the U.S. illegally, calmly approached the woman aboard a stopped F train at the Coney Island Stillwell Avenue station in Brooklyn on Sunday morning and set her clothing ablaze. The New York City Commissioner Jessica Tisch on Sunday described the case as, quote, one of the most depraved crimes one person could possibly commit against another human being, end of quote. I read this story and I said, what? For those who aren't familiar, here's some of the details. They took the man into custody on Sunday, hours after police disseminated images of the suspect in the woman's death. Police said 3 high schoolers called 911 after recognizing the person in the image, and officers found him on another subway train in the same gray hoodie wool hat, paint splattered pants, and tan boots. ICE spokesperson Jeff Carter said Zepeda is a Guatemalan citizen who entered the U.S. illegally after he had been previously deported to Guatemala in 2018. It is unclear when and where he re-entered the U.S. Child, this was a mess. A mess. They said the man started fanning the flames while the woman was oh, that's no bias. Oh, okay. While the woman was burning to death. I was like, what in the sick hell? Hey, Phil. I was like, what in the sick hell? Child. Here's my question. Like, what's going on these subways? What's going on these subways in New York? Now, I know y'all New York people are, we stay to ourselves. We don't talk to nobody. We don't bother nobody. And so forth. But baby, at some point, if the lady is on fire, you think ain't nobody gonna go over there and help her? I mean, they say he set the woman's clothes on fire. So what that means is before she was engulfed in flames, the fire had to spread at the bare minimum. Stop the flame. She didn't have to die. Maybe she could have got burned, but she didn't have to die. A cop walked by the burning lady. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's the same thing with Jordan Neely. Y'all sat there and watched this white man choke him out. Just watched him. Nobody going over there and saying, hey, get up off him. Child, a cop walked by. I just can't. Like, I'm trying to understand, where is the humanity? Like, we can't be that far detached from humanity that you sit there and watch people be expired and just be like, oh, well, honey, well, let me keep on going. It's the same thing I was just talking about when I was talking about, the next administration, where you got whole scores of people where you're just like, well, ain't my problem. Wait, what? At some point, we cannot lose our humanity, people. We really can't. You want to know why? Because you're going to feel some kind of way when a story knocks on your door. Because if that's your mama, your sister, your daughter, your aunt, your niece, your goddaughter, or whomever that's burned to death, you're going to want to know why the fuck everybody on the goddamn subway let them burn to death. Just a mess. Just a damn mess. What I'm saying, Ravine, is they say that he lit her clothes on fire first, okay? There are ways to stop a fire. You stop a fire by, stopping it from getting oxygen. You can lay them on the ground. You could throw coats or something on top of them. There are ways to put out a fire. Should have just start off whoosh, engulfed in flames. But just to walk by and just be like, oh well, girl, let me just keep it moving. What? Uh, let me say this. Everybody can find an excuse, like I said, until it knocks at their door. And then when it's at your door, you're going to have wanted people to do everything in their power. You will become very creative in figuring out a way to have stopped that from happening, especially someone's death from happening. And I think so many times we become innocuous to these stories and we look at it and be like, oh, that's bad. Well, let me get to the next story. until we're the ones planning funeral arrangements, until we're the ones in our beds crying our eyeballs out because we can't see our loved ones on this side again. I'm just saying, I read this story. I was sickened. And another sickening story. Please, this is another case where we have to speak their name. Unfortunately, yes, this is one of those stories. I have to speak his name, so this is a trigger warning. This is a trigger warning. This is the story of Randall Adjusum. First name Randall. Last name is Adjessom. And we do have to speak his name. This is a disturbing story of what happened to him. So let me read this to you. The mother of a 16-year-old who was shot by SWAT police during a no-knock pre-dawn raid in Alabama filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the police officers involved and the city of Mobile, alleging alleging that the teenager was, quote, killed in cold blood, end of quote. Randall Adjusum, 16, was sleeping in his childhood home when SWAT police used a battering ram to break down his front door on November 13th, 2023. Just after 5:30 a.m., while it was still dark outside. Adjusum's mother's aunt, grandmother, and 3 sisters, 2 of whom were also minors, were also in the house. The warrant was executed as a part of an investigation into his older brother for suspected marijuana possession and distribution, according to the complaint. The 16-year-old was not a suspect. His older brother was not there and did not live at the home. The Mobile Police Department tapped SWAT officers because the narcotics unit was understaffed, according to the complaint. Randall came out of his bedroom with a gun that he pointed at the officers, but then subsequently retreated with his hands up once he realized he was confronting law enforcement, according to the complaint, and citing sealed body camera footage. The unnamed officer shot Randall 4 times within 11 seconds of entering his home. The lawsuit alleged the police did not provide adequate medical attention to Randall, who did not arrive at an emergency room that was only 11 minutes away. That was only 8 minutes away, excuse me, until 50 minutes after he was shot. Randall's family members were forced to stay in the living room for hours before they were informed that an officer shot him, according to the complaint. The lawsuit filed in federal court in Mobile names the city and unidentified officers as defendants and seeks unspecified damages. The city attorney and a spokesperson for the police department did not immediately respond to email requests for comments. I want to make y'all aware of what this was all about. This was all about 8 grams of marijuana, which would be a misdemeanor in that municipality. Let me say that again. This was all about 8 grams of marijuana, which would have been a misdemeanor. And y'all got the SWAT team battering the house. Now, I've read several articles on this because I wanted to do my homework on this. What happens is They battering ram barge into this house at 5:30 in the morning when everybody's asleep. Randall is the only male there. He got his aunt, his mama, his grandma, and his sisters there. Only male there. You barge into somebody's house at 5:30. He's thinking it's a freaking they trying to rob the house. So what does he do? He goes get the piece. He's the only man. He's a 60-year-old boy. Got his mama, his grandma, his aunt, and his sisters. What you think a black 16-year-old boy gonna go do? We don't know what the fuck is happening. You busting in the goddamn door. So he go out with the gun trying to see what the fuck is going on at 5:30. He sees the police. He said, "Oh, my bad." His hands go up. I've seen the police footage. It did get released on a place that shouldn't be released at, but I saw it. He puts his hands up. When his hands go up, he does have the gun in his hands. He puts his hands up when he sees the police. The police officer shoots him 4 times. Mind you, his older brother doesn't even live there. And this is all over 8 grams of marijuana, which would have been a misdemeanor. This is what the fuck we got going on. Like, this is literally what we have going on. And we're talking about an administration coming in that want to give blanket, blind, outright immunity and amnesty to all police officers regardless. There's a whole ass genocide going on here. We just did a story, what was that, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, about the white lady that fought the police and fought the black protesters, and they still ain't shoot her. And then not only did they have to arrest her, she's ended up suing the police department because she said, "Oh, I ain't like how y'all came to my house." And they settled with this bitch for millions of dollars because she was white. But our black asses, you don't get those opportunities. Oh, hell no. Oh, no, 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 no. For a simple misdemeanor, you got a whole fucking SWAT team busting down people's doors, breaking into people's homes for a fucking misdemeanor. I don't even understand why no-knock warrants are still a thing. I don't even understand, because we have, unfortunately, people getting blown off the earth and losing their lives because of this sick shit. But then y'all want to try to have me negotiate with these people on the other side that want to give blanket immunity to police officers, that want to tell me how police are the greatest things on earth, that want to have a problem with me because I say defund the police and start the shit all over again. And I'm talking to both sides at this point, because remember, Joseph Robinette, y'all promised us the George Floyd reform, police reform act that we still ain't get. And that was even when y'all had the House, the Senate, and the White House, and y'all still didn't get that passed. And now we are about to embark on a situation where it's just about to be open fucking season. It is, Shay. It's like a sport for them. Like, they get off on that shit. Listen, Auntie Kim, you preach it to the choir. Mobile has a nasty racial stain. There was a 19-year-old Michael Donald was lynched in 1981. His family sued the KKK of Alabama with the assistance of black attorney Michael Figures. Excuse me, his family won. Like, it's a shame. Hey, Tarshell, yeah, you late. Now you woke up from a glorious nap. Like, it's ridiculous. It is out of order, and unfortunately, it might get worse before it gets any better. I told y'all, be prepared. I could fully see Donald John doing if I'm not sure the laws in Minnesota, but I could see if he has the power to pardon a Derek Chauvin, I can see that happening. I'm telling you what I know. Telling you what I know. We pray for the Adjusum family because, and I know this was over a year ago, but I can't imagine what that mom is going through. I can't even imagine what his older brother is going through, knowing that this young man had his short life ended. Over some foolishness. In more sugar spiky news, I'm sorry, they're all spiky today. It was a lot of sugar spiky news. It wasn't a lot. I got some celebrity news. It wasn't a lot in the celebrity news today, but I did get some sugar spiky news. There was a lot of sugar spikes. Um, Now, if you're a parent, here's another trigger warning for this story because you will be mad. Let me read this to you. The parents of a 13-year-old black student at Ernest Lawrence Middle School in Chatsworth, California, are calling for the arrest of a white male parent who they say physically attacked their son outside the school while hurling racial slurs at him, causing serious injuries. The family of Salvion Torres, um, their attorney and community activists held a press conference Monday in front of the Los Angeles Police Department, the Devonshire at the Devonshire Police Station, to call out the school district and local police for their inaction. Torres and other parents said that on the afternoon of December 6th, um, uh, uh, um, his he and two Hispanic friends, walked out of the school to help a friend's grandmother put some things in her car. While walking back to the school to rejoin the after school program, they encountered John Moriel, the white father of an 8th grade classmate, standing next to his car near an entry gate. Morial began taunting the boys, saying, quote, "What are you? A bunch of pussies?" End of quote, according to Eliza Franklin, the mother of Sal's friend Gregory King. The boys were puzzled by his comment, she said, and then Morial, unprompted, approached Sal, grabbed him by the collar of his hoodie, threw him on the car, and, quote, began to pummel him, end of quote. Then Morial slammed Sal on the pavement and put his knee with all of his body weight on the boy's shoulder, neck, and spine, restricting his ability to breathe while repeatedly calling him the N word, hard ER. As Sal was saying, "I can't breathe," and his friends were calling for help, um, according to one of the students, Morial finally let up when an after school program staff member appeared. Then he left the scene. Sal, Sal's father told news outlets that when he arrived at the school, his son was hysterical and crying out. Quote, "He wanted to kill me like George Floyd," end of quote. Sal suffered a concussion, a head contusion, a neck sprain, and a knee injury, and was on crutches for a couple of weeks following the incident, according to his mother. Because he's still limping, he has been missing out on basketball practices and games. He is also emotionally distressed and has been waking up in the middle of the night feeling anxious. His parents are say his parents say they are frustrated with the school's tepid response to the incident, which has involved issuing safety plans to Sal and his friend Gregory. Um, the plan advises them to avoid confrontations with Mr. Morial and his son and to not leave the school unaccompanied. Sal's safety plan will be set up with a school counselor when the students return to school in January. adding adding that Drina Torres, who's the mother, added that she finds the plan, quote, the plan is, quote, just the school's way to cover their behinds while they do nothing to address the real problem, end of quote. Listen, I don't need to read no more. I don't need to read no more, because let me help you understand something. Let me help you understand something. Like, the school put out a statement, the police department put out a statement, but they still haven't did anything. They haven't arrested this man. They haven't gone to get him or anything like that. He'll be the man's child will be back in school. He'll be back dropping the child off. It's just nothing's going to happen. We're just here, nothing to see here. Let me help you understand something. If I am Sal's, not the mama, if I'm the daddy, let me help you understand something. The police would be called, but the police would be called for me, because I promise you, somebody know where he lived. Somebody at that school know where he lived. And what I'm going to do is we rolling up over there, and I'm not coming empty-handed, and I'm not coming by myself. Because what we're not going to have, sir, is you bullying my 8th grade child. You causing my 8th grade child to have a concussion, head contusions, a sprained neck, all types of stuff. He on crutches. You know how much that costs? The medical expenses alone is enough reason for me to fuck you up. That's enough reason for me to fuck you up. I'm waiting to hear the story where the dad and about 4 or 5 of his homeboys are rolled up over there and fuck Mr. Morial up. I'm just saying. I'm going to try to monitor this story as much as I can and can give y'all some updates. Oh, we almost to Beyonce, y'all. We almost out of the Sugar Spike segments. Lord, it was so many today. Actually, what happened today is I got passionate about the situation with the damn school, with the universities. That's what happened. I had a 45-minute rant on that. I apologize. That was on me. So I talked about this story before, and there's an update on this. So these are the two parents, Will and Zachary Zulak. I talked about them some time ago. And let me give you an update on them. A judge in Georgia has sentenced a male couple to 100 years in prison without parole for sexually abusing the children they had adopted. William and Zachary Zulak of Walton County, about 30 miles east of Atlanta, were arrested in 2022 after the Walton County Sheriff's Office received a tip that another man was receiving pictures and videos from the couple that depicted child sexual abuse. The Zulaks had adopted 2 young boys a few years earlier. When interviewed by investigators, quote, they both admitted to sexually abusing both boys over a period of time, end of quote, according to a press release from the Alcovey Judicial Circuit District Attorney's Office. In August of this year, William Zulak pleaded guilty to 6 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 counts of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of incest, and 2 counts of sexual exploitation of children. In October, Zachary Zulak pleaded guilty to 2 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 counts of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of sodomy, 3 counts of sexual exploitation of children, and 2 counts of pandering for a person under 18. He pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of incest, but Judge Jeffrey L. Foster found him guilty to those charges after a bench trial. Judge Foster sentenced both men on December 19th. Quote, after hearing arguments from both the state and the defense, the court essentially followed the state's sentencing recommendation for both defendants. 100 years in prison, followed by life on probation. Because of the nature of the offenses, the defendants will not be eligible for parole for the entire 100 years. End of quote. The DA said, quote, "It cannot be stressed enough how important it is for our society to have individuals willing to adopt children in need. But anyone who does so and then abuses those children deserves extremely harsh consequences and decades in prison. The sentence imposed not only appropriately punishes these defendants for their repeated selfish actions, but also sends the message to the public that such actions would never be taken lightly." End of quote. Now, I talked about this story a few months back. I hope that the same thing that happened to these two happened to that white couple with the white man and the white lady up there. I think that was in Washington State that had them kids locked in that shed in the back of the house with nothing to eat, chained to the ground. Remember we talked about that story a couple weeks ago? I hope them bastards get 100 years in jail too. I hope they get 100 years in jail too. Fuck them and fuck their lives. I'm just saying. Moving on. Listen, if you have children in school, monitor your kids. If you have children, loved ones, family members, relative, friends, kids, monitor your kids. So, what we're finding out is, and this is being widely circulated, that there's starting to be an outbreak of whooping cough. Now, whooping cough, let me read this real quick. Holiday cheer is in the air, and so are infections, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Whooping cough cases in the United States are beginning to return to pre-pandemic levels. According to Dr. Jason Newland, chief of infectious diseases at Nationwide Children's Hospital, there are over 32,000 recorded cases this year alone in the U.S., which is 6 times greater than last year. The most up-to-date data from the CDC, which was released early November, showed Pennsylvania and New York have reported the most cases of whooping cough at more than 2,000 each. Ohio, Wisconsin, Washington State, and California all have more than 1,000 cases reported so far. Dr. Newland said whooping cough, sometimes referred to as pertussis, often presents similar symptoms as the common cold. This can include fever, runny nose, and eventually an aggressive cough. Quote, "The difference is the cough can come in paroxysms, but the better word for it is just a lot of, but the better word for it is just a lot at one time, to where we hear that we say whoop because you cough, 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 and then you go whoop because you've got to breathe." End of quote. Okay. Dr. Newley said the whooping cough vaccine is the best way to prevent the infection starting at 2 months old. Quote, "And then because the vaccine is not perfect, meaning it doesn't provide me protection for the rest of my life, you really need to get it every 10 years. End of quote, Dr. Newland said. He noted, however, that fewer people are getting vaccinated. Experts believe the 2024 surge in cases may be in part because of missed vaccinations during the COVID-19 pandemic. Widespread masking in 2020 and 2021 also helped prevent spreading of the bacteria that causes pertussis. Now the disease is back with a vengeance, and we're seeing more cases than we did in 2019. I'm going to tell you what this is about. You got a lot of these people out here that don't want to get their kids vaccinated. These anti-vax people. We got our medical expert Janae in the chat. That's what this. There's this whole, even before COVID, a whole lot of the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains were very anti-vax even before COVID. A lot of them didn't want to get their kids vaccinated before they went to before they got enrolled in schools. I think we talked about that once during on Teacher Project 2.0. But y'all gotta safeguard y'all kids. White people, they don't bathe, they don't vaccinate. These bastards don't do nothing to keep themselves or the people around them safe. and we got to protect our own kids. So if you got kids out there, make sure your kids are up to date on all of their shots. Most times kids get their shots before they enter kindergarten, and then they have to re-up or get certain shots they have to get again in around 7th grade is where they have to get revaccinated for certain things around 7th grade. So make sure you get your kids vaccinated, because these people are real dirty out there. I mean, in addition to whooping cough coming back, I mean, we're talking about fucking Oregon Trail diseases. Shout out to those of us who played Oregon Trail. But we're talking about shit from Oregon Trail that you thought in your lifetime, we're never going to have to deal with that again. This shit is coming back around. We talk about next we gonna have what? Diphtheria and cholera. I mean, if we got whooping cough, we got polio over in Gaza because they don't want to help those damn kids. So we got all of the Oregon Trail diseases coming coming back because people don't want to get vaccine. And like I said, people were anti-vaxxers well before COVID because they were believing the stupid ass conspiracy theory that vaccines cause autism. Mind you, we've been getting vaccines for what, over 100 years now or something like that. It's just stupid. Exactly, Ronald. And then you're putting RFK in as the goddamn Secretary of Health and Human Services. Just a damn mess. Hey, Catherine Powell. Child. Listen, measles, mumps, and rubella cases are up too, child. Just a mess. Just a damn mess. In our last sugar spiky story, praise you, sweet 7-pound, 3-ounce baby Jesus. So this woman, she's all over the news. Florida woman. Her name is Brianna Alvalo. She's 22. She spent Christmas behind bars in Osceola County. That's Central Florida area. Accused of attacking a customer she believed had undertipped her. Authorities alleged that on December 22nd, Miss Alvalo and an unidentified male accomplice broke into a room at the Rivera Motel in Kissimmee, excuse me. Armed with a knife and gun, respectively, the pair reportedly assaulted the room's occupant. According to Osceola County Sheriff's Office, Miss Alvalo stabbed the customer multiple times before the duo stole several items from the motel room. The sheriff's office believes the motive stemmed from Miss Alvalo's dissatisfaction with a tip she received earlier in the evening after delivering pizza to the same room. The victim, whose identity has not been disclosed, was hospitalized and listed in stable condition as of December 25th. Alvalo was arrested the day after the attack and charged with attempted murder, kidnapping, home evasion with a firearm, and aggravated assault. She remains in custody without bail. The male suspect has not yet been apprehended. So you gonna do all the time, Miss Alvalo? Over a tip, child. You finna spend the rest of your life in jail over a tip. I hope it was worth it, Miss Alvalo. A mess. But that's over there like the Orlando area. We got to move on. So this happened last night. Beyond Skank was on our television screen. Can I just be honest? I did watch it. I watched it. Can I be honest? I'm going to be honest anyway. I don't care how you feel. Here's my problem. My problem is Beyonce can walk on stage and ceremoniously fart and walk off stage, and the Beehive will act like that must be the sound of God's farts, and they will praise it as if we've seen the second coming of Christ. And um, hey, Black Regina George, what's going on? And my problem is some of these people just are not objective. They just are not. Like, some of these people are irrational. These people are not wrapped tightly. Some of these Beehive members are just fucking delusional. And I'm going to just say it like it is. Now, I'm going to start this way. I'm going to start off in a good way. Beyonce is arguably one of the greatest entertainers that has ever lived. Up there in the pantheons with Tina Turner, Janet Jackson, and some of the greatest entertainers ever. And I will argue Beyonce's a better singer than Tina Turner. She's a better singer than Janet Jackson. I will give her that. I have, and we have seen Beyonce do performances that are like awe-inspiring, that are like, and you talking, this is coming from somebody who cannot stand, I don't like Beyonce or her music, but I'm not going to take that away from her. The woman's an awesome performer. She works hard. She's a great entertainer. She goes out there and leaves it on the goddamn floor. Okay? She leaves it on the fucking floor. She is creative. She dances. She has great choreography, great sets. And then you couple that with she has both. She can sing. Beyonce can sing. I mean, she ain't in my top 10 or my top 20, but she can sing. Now, to me, last night's performance was just okay. It was just okay. I didn't say it was bad. It was just okay. Listen, I watched it. Now I'm gonna tell you, there's been a couple times I've seen Beyonce. I'd be like, damn, that bitch did the fuck out of that shit. When she did the Super Bowl halftime in fucking New Orleans, I was like, that bitch did that shit. If she'll do shit else, that motherfucker did that shit. That shit was not. I was like, yeah, that you did that, Beyonce. To me, her best performance I've seen her do was Coachella. Coachella, mama don't owe me nothing. I was like, girl, you did the fuck out of that. This right here, what I saw last night, eh. And I'm gonna tell you, here's my philosophy on why it was just now. If you listen, understand the assignment, Beyonce. If you're gonna give me square, not square that, if you're gonna give me country, give me country. You can't go out there and do some half-ass square dancing and think that's you giving me country. You can't just go out there on a horse and give me country. Now, some of the people you had out there with you were absolutely country. You, my doll, are not country. You don't give me the country feel. Even with your country music, it does not give me a country feel. It doesn't give me the country sound. It doesn't feel like country. It doesn't make me no, it's not. It's just, you're just not country at all. Okay. I enjoyed Texas Southern. They were good, but I'm not expecting to see fucking Texas Southern in a goddamn country performance. I'm expecting to see a fucking guitar, some banjos, and some shit. I don't know. And I know some of y'all Beehive people, she's revolutionizing the country genre. Well, then what that means is she's changing it from being country to being something she's more comfortable with instead of giving you country. If you're going to do country, give me country. Don't go in there and say, oh, I'm going to change it, because when you try to change it, you're trying to make it comfortable for you or closer to what you want it to be, which takes it away from being authentically it. And I'm not saying there's one format for country. There's not. There's not one format for country. There are many different country singers, country styles. But Beyonce does not give me country. I'm sorry. She just does not. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to you know what? They must have had China White. Speaking of the band, let me get to the band because that's my lane. The band is my lane. Now, they must have had extra dance girls out there because their dance squad is not that big. And you saw how many dance girls they had out there? You saw how big that squad is? They probably had some alumni come back out there and stuff like that. Now, what I could appreciate is now, if you know Texas Southern, and correct me if I'm wrong, Texas Southern, and I know I'm not wrong, their band director all is known for having the white jacket. So when I saw them in the all white, it made so much sense to me because Texas Southern band director always has on the white jacket, and there's a whole story behind the history of Texas Southern's band director wearing the white jacket and so forth. So that's the whole thing for them as well. But I love Texas Southern. They looked good, they performed well. I thought it was really, really, really nice. But I'm just like, it was just okay for me. Even her choreography, I was like, okay, all right. And I feel like Beyonce, to me, Beyonce, you're one of the greatest performers ever. And how I would when I was taught how when I started performing, even like in my early days of singing, when we would sing and stuff like that, and then when I started being in a band, the earliest memories I have of learning to perform, they would go out, they would tell you, listen, when you go your ass out there, remember first and last. And what they meant by first and last is every time you take your ass out there, that's someone's first time seeing you, and that's someone's last time seeing you. And you want that first and last to be awesome every time. Every time you go out there, that's someone's first time seeing you, and that is someone's last time seeing you. And I feel like it was just like, it wasn't bad. I'm not saying it was a bad performance, but on the scale of what I expect from Beyonce, I'm like, okay. It was just meh. I love, stuff is, leaking out about, her paying homage to all of these different people and stuff, the rich black history. Beautiful. Love all of that. That still doesn't negate the fact that the performance was just uh, you can't profess to be Beyonce, one of the greatest entertainers walking the face of the earth, and not thinking you're going to be criticized and people aren't going to be critical. And that's what bothers me about the Beehive. They want her to be the greatest entertainer walking the earth, not understanding when you reach that height and that level, you are going to be criticized. There's going to be equal amount of praise as there is criticism. And what the Beehive people want is all praise, no real critiques. And if you critique, then you must be a hater, or you're delusional, or you're blind, or you're deaf, and that's just not the case. I thought Blue Ivy was good. Who was that dirty ass white man that was singing about her? I was like, who's this dirty ass man? He looked real unkempt. I was like, ew. I was like, who is this dirty ass white man? Her Tina Turner performance was good. Her Tina Turner performance was good. I still say, oh, that was Post Malone. Oh, he looked real dirty and unkempt. I was like, oh, bitch, go bathe. But I was like, I really wanted to bathe him. I was like, sir, go wash your face. Go bathe. Girl. But he did. He looked unkempt. Child, girl. That was extra clean for him. Oh, girl, I don't want to see him normally. There. Oh, dear God. Wait a minute, Tarshell. That was the clean version of him. Oh, girl. Oh, he always looks extra nasty. Oh, girl. Oh, so he got cleaned up for Beyonce, and that's his cleaned up version. Child, I'm glad I ain't seen him before. Oh, child, girl, Mm. girl. I love the actual country singers that were out there with her. Loved that she let them, sing and stuff like that. Love that. Now that's the thing that I think I do like about this iteration of Beyonce, because Beyonce wasn't always this way. I like that she doesn't mind giving a nod to other artists. Beyonce wasn't always that way. Go back to her early career. She didn't give a damn about nobody, and she still has instances where she's selfish and self-absorbed to this day. See, the Super Bowl from this past February, where she fucked up Usher's moment. Whatever, but she probably just washed his hair, and let the soap run down. He looked like he just got done smoking a fresh pack of Virginia Slims. Virginia Slims is the only ones that come in 120s and not 100. Most cigarettes, when you get the long ones, they 100. Virginia Slims say, nah, you gonna get this good lung cancer. We got 120s over here, bitch. Girl. Girl, just a mess. But I do like that she gave a nod to those real and true black country artists there, and some other people there. Yeah, Beyonce messed up Usher's day. She was very selfish and self-absorbed right there. She ain't shit. Oh, Shabuzi is your neighbor. Okay. Okay. He looked like he lost weight. I don't know. He looks like he lost weight to me. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but the Beehive members were laying in a fetal position, writhing in ecstasy after the performance. And I was just like, okay, okay. Girl, you done shut down the whole internet, got everybody watching this shit, and that's what you give me, girl? Oh, okay, girl. Mind you, you done damn near shut down goddamn Netflix. Because my Netflix, now it didn't stop for me, but the quality kept going in and out. Like the quality of my Netflix, uh, excuse me, the quality of Netflix, it kept, sometimes it was pixelated and then sometimes it was clear. And it kept going back and forth to being pixelated to being clear. Beyonce is coming for me. She's not. She's not. I promise you, she's not. I don't care. Care. I love those four Blackbird ladies for a long time. I've cried happy tears for them at so many stages of their careers. Well, that's good. Like, I'm really happy for me. I'm happy for Texas Southern and marching band culture. As a marching band geek myself, anytime you get HBCU marching band up there, and you can highlight marching band culture, that's good for everybody. Everybody eat off that, because that gets more eyes on marching bands, and that gets more people wanting to go to college and be in the band. So I love that part. I do love that part. You didn't stand on your feet not once, child. Now the people gonna come out here and say, "Oh my God, she revolutionized everything." Oh, girl, that was her greatest performance ever. Oh, girl. Anyway, okay, Beyonce, girl, go with God. Um, Now, oh yeah, they said that Beyonce's performance is gonna be released as a special or whatnot. I guess. Speaking of being released as a special, let me put my banner back up. Speaking of being released as a special, Wicked is being released next month. Let me get you that date. Hold on. Well, actually, it's going to be available for streaming on all major platforms next Tuesday on the 31st. So you can watch Wicked Part 1 on streaming. In the US, you'll be able to purchase the film on Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, Fandango at home, formerly Voodoo, Comcast, Xfinity, Cox, and Microsoft Movies and TV. All of those places. It will be available on 4K UHD, Blu-ray, and DVD on February 4th. I will be purchasing it. Matter of fact, I might go when we get off here and pre-purchase it. So because I'm gonna be out of town, so I can already have it in my waiting for me. Because I promise you, I will be watching it on repeat. Judge a mammy, don't judge me. So I love Wicked. Chloe said the performance was just okay. I'm not a country music fan. Mississippi Valley State is currently raising funds to march in the Donald Trump. Really, child. Let me go to my marching band groups where they and put that in there so we can drag them. We got some groups that some Discord groups and some Facebook groups and stuff that's like for all of the HBCU marching bands and girl, I'm finna go in a group and break it up, bitch. Break it up, bitch. Child, the March of 100 would never. The March of 100 would never. You ain't got the March of 100. We did Bill Clinton's inauguration in '96, and we did Obama's inauguration in Bill Clinton's inauguration January of '97, and we did Obama's inauguration in January of 2009. We would never do a goddamn Donald John. Girl, I wish a motherfucker would. Girl. Anyway, anybody else put a 27 in the chat if you'll be downloading. If you're going to stream Wicked, I'm going to stream it. Let us be glad. Let us be grateful. I love Noah Morris the Wicked. Here's an update on here's yeah, Mississippi Valley State is HBCU. Here's an update on Travis Hunter because y'all know I gotta keep y'all updated on the Travis Hunter saga. So over the last few days, remember we was talking about his girlfriend Lily and how they been dog walking her. We done found out she was a scripper. She had an OnlyFans. She so they got videos now of her because she talked openly about him driving her to parties and he didn't want to go in. So he would stay inside the car for hours while she was in there getting sloshed and drunk. Well, we also have video evidence now that she wasn't just in there getting sloshed and drunk. She was in there throwing it back on dudes inside the goddamn party while he's sitting in the goddamn car waiting for her trifling ass. Well, the shit done got too much for Travis having to explain away all her fuck shit. Hey, G Smith, having to explain away Lily and all of her fuck shit that she got going on, his fiance. So now he done shut down his Instagram account. And I think he shut down his Instagram and his Twitter and his Snapchat. Now you don't want to talk to nobody. Now, because we try to tell you that this whore ain't shit, you don't want to talk to nobody. Tracy W slid up in here. When you slid up in here, Tracy W. Hey, girl, hey. I told y'all this woman ain't shit. he is Chloe. He still gonna marry her, and she gonna take him to the cleaners, baby. She gonna take his dumb ass to the cleaners, and at this point, I'm here for it. I'm just saying. I mean, at this point, I don't. In my if he said I'm not going to the bowl game, they're not. They don't have a chance to go. They're not going to. They're not in the playoffs, so they're not going to the national championship. And at this point, he's going to the NFL draft. He's not the only one that you'll see doing that because they don't want to risk going out there and getting injured just before they start their, they get ready for the NFL draft, NFL combine and stuff like that. So you'll see a lot of if they're not in the playoffs or in contention for the national championship, um you'll see a lot of players they'll say, yeah, I'm not playing in that game because they don't want to risk, going out there and getting an injury. So yeah, he cute, she whip. I'm just saying. Baby, we don't care, Travis. She gonna take you to the cleaners and we gonna laugh at you. So United Airlines, one of the most expensive airlines for no damn reason, because they charge you all that damn money and they service ain't even that damn good down to the United Airlines. So they really ain't shit. But they're in the news for all the wrong reasons. Apparently, a body was found in the wheel well of one of their flights. A body was found in a wheel well of a United Airlines flight upon landing Tuesday in Maui, Hawaii, according to the airlines. Quote, upon arrival in Kahulu, Kaului, so I can't pronounce that, airport in Maui on Tuesday, a body was found in the wheel well of one of the main landing gears on a United aircraft, end of quote. And that's a statement from the airlines. The passengers flew on a Boeing 787-10. The airline's flight 202 took off from Chicago O'Hare International Airport at 9:31 a.m. local time, and after nearly 9 hours landed in Kahului Airport at around 2:12 p.m. local time, according to the flight tracking website Flight Aware. The wheel well was only accessible from outside of the aircraft, end of quote, the airline said. They went on to say, quote, at this time, it is not clear how or when the person accessed the wheel well, end of quote. The Maui Police Department told Hawaii news outlets it is conducting a thorough investigation. United said it is working with the authorities on the investigation. Mm. Like, is that one of the people that one of the tarmac people that work for the airlines down on the tarmac that had a little lights things that be but I don't how, how you end up in the wheel well though? Because I feel like at the point where the plane is like being backed up, or they got to use the truck to back up the plane and stuff like that, they move everybody out the way so you don't get ran over, no nothing like that. Like, something sound fishy here. Was this a stowaway situation? Like, girl, what you got going? Where was you trying to go? Not well, the air traffic controllers. I thought those the people that be in the tower and stuff like that. I thought that was those people. They be up in the little tower or whatever. Somebody put them in there, girl. Child Tarshell, girl, who you done made mad? Girl, they done push your ass in that goddamn wheel well. Said, bitch, I'ma show your ass. Push you in that goddamn wheel well, bitch. Because I'm just thinking they had to be put there before that flight started moving. Because once that flight moves, you would see somebody, like somebody would have saw that person being put in there or getting ran over or something like that, and the plane would have never took off. So somebody, yeah, something sound fishy. Somebody was put in there well in advance. Like that might have been like the first flight of the day for that plane, and that's how they got in there. Baby, I don't know. Go with guy. Oh, they already did that. Suck it, Hannah, Sukiana, and Ray J are in the news along with Princess. Let me just call it what it is. Members of the basket of deplorables are fighting. Suck it, Hannah is fighting with Dirty Dick Ray J. Dirty Cooch Suck it, Hannah and Dirty Dick Ray J are fucking, and Princess is going back and forth with Suck it, Hannah over Dirty Dick ass Ray J. I look at sucking just looking at this picture of this woman. I feel the need to bathe. Like I feel like I need to go to my doctor and get some Doxy Pep. Shout out to the STD Plan B pill, Doxy Pep. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I feel like I need some Doxy Pep, a penicillin shot, something. Just looking at her picture. This is the same woman who is on camera vomiting on men's penises. I just can't. Princess, you still like, because something about Princess look through his phone or suck at Hannah. They looked through his phone. Suck at Hannah was texted. Princess saw Suck at Hannah in there. Suck at Hannah was going back and forth with her. All this over dirty dick ass Ray J. Like, girl, it ain't even that deep. For Ray J? Brandy's brother? Oh, girl. Girl. I exactly. Exactly, Black Regina George. First of all, I am not arguing with the likes of Suck It Hannah about anything because anybody close to me that has been anywhere near a sexual experience with Suck It Hannah, I am removing you from my existence for fear that I could contract, you know, an absorbent amount of venereal diseases. Like I look at her, she's in that same box with Sexy Red where venereal disease is her middle name. I'm just saying. I don't know, Josh. I don't know, Josh, but Princess girl, you just look desperate as fuck. Like you're a pretty girl. There's a lot of men that are into the cuter that you could go and get with that will take care of you, that'll be good to you, that'll do right by you. And you still over here fussing, fighting, and arguing about some fuck boy about fucking Ray J? Girl, I just can't. That's just like when them girls was going back and forth about little dick ass little fizz. Remember when April Johnson and them was going back and forth about little fizzle pop, little fizz? Like, girl, with Moniece and all them. Girl, I just can't. Y'all be out here fighting for the dumbest shit on her. Y'all look like fucking clowns, okay? Fucking clowns. Right. Nobody feels bad for Princess. Nobody. Nobody feels bad for Princess. Baby, whatever happens to you, you like it. Ma'am, leave us the fuck alone. We don't care. You tell us, oh, Ray J did this to me. Beautiful. We've gone on with life. We're not going to even ask us to remove you from the group chat. We're removing ourselves. We're removing ourselves. And if we do come back to the group chat, we're coming back to laugh at you. We're not coming back to have sympathy for you, to see it your way, to sympathize with you. We're coming back to the group chat to laugh at you. Because when you're arguing with Suck It Hannah, the woman who vomits on penises on camera, then we're laughing at you. Ma'am, go with God. Ray J got a nice sized dick and all, but it ain't worth all this, child. Ray J? Girl. In our last story of the day, he do got that earphone monies. I got a pair of Raycons. They do work well. They are nice. Now I ain't gonna lie, I do got a pair of Raycon earbuds. They are nice. I ain't gonna lie. Trick Daddy wants you to know, Maurice wants y'all to know he is serious. He was not playing when he had that rant last week about Pornhub no longer being accessible in on January 1st. Well, he went back on Instagram again to reiterate that listen, I was not playing when I said I'm leaving. Now we'll see. I don't believe he's gonna do it. He's a Miamian for life. Born and raised. He ain't going nowhere. That's all he know. He has businesses down there. He ain't going no damn well. But he keeps saying he wants to reiterate that he ain't going nowhere. Florida Evans, listen, Florida Evans, we don't care. We don't want to know of your proclivities with Pornhub, Florida Evans, okay? We don't want to know. We don't want to know. We don't want to think about you and what you do with Pornhub. We don't want to know what back alleys of Pornhub you be in. We don't want to know why you're so in your feelings about Pornhub when there are 868 million other sites where you can get free porn. We don't give a damn, Florida Evans, okay? We don't. Like, you upset about Pornhub, sir, there's 863 million other sites where you can go to get your porn. You got a lot of money, sir. I'm sure you can have access to sites like I have access to, where you can get your porn for free, and it comes from every site known to man. Trick Daddy say he like his ass ate. That's believable human nature. It's nothing wrong with getting your ass ate. I mean, it's pleasurable whether you male or female. A good tossed salad is a good thing. Listen, Florida Evans, please leave us alone. Please, okay? Go over there and cook some of your food over there down to the Sundays restaurant. We don't care, Florida Evans. Anyway, that's all we got, y'all. That is the news of the day. That is the news of the day. Listen, we'll be back tomorrow. Saturday is the last silly Saturday of the year. It will be the last silly Saturday of the year. I got something to do on Saturday, so I'm gonna try to do it on Saturday. If I can't squeeze it in on Saturday, then I'll do it on Sunday. But sometime this weekend, um, we'll have silly Saturday, either Saturday or Sunday before I go out of town, and it will be our last silly Saturday of the year. You say a copper ate your groceries in college, and I'm sure he did it well. We do all things well. Ciao. But yes, y'all. So I'm gonna see what I can put together for Silly Saturday. As it's our last Silly Saturday. We might, look at the top stories of the year. I might on Silly Saturday, I might what I'm gonna if I got time, what I'll try to do is I'm gonna try to find some of the stories and stuff, like, we have a lot of inside jokes and a lot of things that we have on this channel, and many of you all don't know either the origin story of it or have never seen the video. where you can hear the origin story. So I may try to pull some of those, like things like where Sugar Spike came from. We've done Orange Shirt many times, so everybody know where Orange Shirt comes from. But we'll try to look at some old stuff and look at some stuff from earlier this year and stuff like that. So I'll see what I can put together. We'll see if I have time. If I have time. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all. I'm about to get out of here. If you should so choose in the description box for those people that want, my birthday is coming, that want to do something for the birthday. There is a wish list out there in the description box for my birthday wish list. If you would like to donate to the platform, there's the Cash App there for those people who would like to donate to the platform. So we can keep the lights on around here. Or if you just want to and you don't want to donate no money, say fuck you, I ain't give you El Teddy, I ain't give you none of my damn money. Then you can just press the like button. You don't got to pay for that. Or press subscribe. We here. Next year, I am going to do better about having a concerted effort to grow the channel and bring more people in. So, y'all know numbers is not my thing, and I never be caring about, oh, how many subscribers I have. What am I never really care about that. I never really ask people to subscribe. But I don't know who access denied is. I don't know why we're not even talking about Beyonce like that. So why access denied, you're bothering us or bothering me. If you really feel that strongly about it, access denied, let me help you out. Hold on, because access denied wants my attention. I'll give it to you. If that's what you want, if that's if you want my attention, sir, here it is. You got it. I don't know who you are. Oh, really? I was getting that. Really be the sniper. Really be the came in from the bushes. Oh man, really be the came in from the bushes. I'm still gonna block them. Really be came through and said, let me snatch this comment up. I don't care about the Beehive. I've dealt with them before. If you go back in my channel, I remember we were live and I said something about the Beehive, and we had about 30 people in the line. This is like in 2020 or something like that. No, this was in 2019. We was in the live. We had like 30 people in the chat. We were talking about Beyonce, and I was talking bad about Beyonce. The chat ballooned from 30 to like 500 in a matter of like 3 minutes. Like the whole Beehive just descended upon me. And them motherfuckers was like, and then next thing you know, the whole live was shut down. The whole live was shut down. I promise you. I promise you. The whole live got shut. It was so funny. It was so fun. I went live right after that, but the live literally, we had like 30 in the chat. It went from 30 to like 500, and they was putting bees in the Beehive. It was the Beehive. I promise you, it wasn't. I promise you, it was. And next thing you know, the live was cut. YouTube cut the whole live midstream, and I had to go back live, and I had to start the live back over. Thank you, Tracy W. It's funny though. It's funny to talk about now. I was kind of mad about it back then, but it's funny to talk about it now. I got to get used to these classes because what's so weird is y'all don't hear it. Really B remember that live? See, look at Really B. She says she remembers. Ain't but so many people that have been around that long. Really B been around that long. There's been like notifications and stuff going off this whole live, but I hear them through my glasses. Y'all can't hear it, but I hear it through my glasses. And so I keep hearing all these notifications. Ping, ping, ping. I don't hear it. Y'all don't hear it, but I hear it through the glasses. So shout out to these glasses. Anyway, you say they ain't got no jobs, human nature, child. I don't think they got none either. They're just as bad as the Barbs. Crazy Homebody Girl. They are just as bad. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged. They're much appreciated. Oh, we've been on here two hours and almost 20 minutes. Oh, child. Let me go get me something to eat. Oh, thank you, Opal. Opal sent the cash app. Thank you so much for your cash app, Opal. She sent the cash app. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, that's all I got you. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. We'll be back tomorrow. All right. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out. Love y'all.